SDK.finance. Welcome! In this short demo, I'll show how our QA team performs testing at different stages of the release process. We use popular industry tools such as TestRail to store and manage our test cases, and Postman and Newman to automate and validate our APIs. All of our test cases are stored in TestRail, where we organize them into clear sections and assign relevant tags, such as smoke or regression. Let's start with smoke testing. First of all, we need to create a new test run. Choose the correct test suite, for example, SDK.5. And filter the needed test cases by the smoke tag. In this case, we have 183 test cases selected for smoke testing. We can now assign different test sections to various QA engineers and begin execution. For instance, I've selected the section Bank Accounts Management by Service role and assigned it to myself. Let's take a test case that verifies the ability to approve a bank account. This test is labeled as a UI, meaning we will follow the steps manually through the web interface. We open the test case details, follow all the described steps, and compare them with the expected results. Since everything matches, we can mark the test as passed in TestRail. In addition to smoke tests, we maintain a much larger collection of test cases used for regression testing. These cover full user flows and edge cases, some executed through the UI, others involving API calls. We create a new test run for each release, select the relevant test cases, and mark them as passed, blocked, or failed based on the result. TestRail also allows us to export test cases and generate detailed reports, which we can share with stakeholders and team members. When it comes to API testing, we primarily use Postman. We have a wide range of collections, each focused on specific flows like user creation, profile setup, or transaction processing. Each request inside our collections defines test scripts that verify that the status code is 200, that the response time is less than 1000 milliseconds, that the response schema is valid, that all required fields are present in the response. This check ensures that not only does the API work, but that it retains accurate and complete data. We also include custom tests tailored to our product's logic. For example, when topping up a client wallet, we validate that the balance is updated correctly, confirming that funds were added and the expected fee was applied. Additionally, we often double-check critical operations by running direct database queries to ensure back-end consistency, making testing more efficient. We actively use environment variables in Postman, which allow us to switch between environments such as testing, staging, or production without manually updating URLs or tokens. For full test suite runs, we use the Postman Collection Runner or Newman, a command line tool. We export the desired collection and environment locally, then run them via CLI. In this example, I've selected a collection containing 47 requests. The execution takes only a few seconds. Once completed, Newman generates an HTML extra report that provides a clean and detailed summary of the run. Waiting for the report, The report is ready. Let's take a look. We can see the date and time of execution, total number of iterations, number of requests, failed tests, run duration, and average response time. We can also review failed tests in detail. For instance, here we see that some tests have failed. In one of them, we see that the schema is valid. A test failed, meaning that the API response did not match the expected schema. We can open the response, compare it to the expected structure, and verify the correct format in Swagger. This is how we perform quality assurance across the board, starting with critical smoke tests, moving through detailed regression checks, and finishing with in-depth API validation.